Yo, what's up, crew? Welcome back to the show. It's your partner, Just Mike. Now, on today's show, we're going to be talking about Drake, all right? We're talking about Champagne Papi, the king of the six, and him basically opening up to Fader magazine about the whole Quentin Miller, Meek Mill situation. You know, he touches on a lot of topics, you know, the ghostwriting incident, the whole Meek Mill diss tracks. It's actually a really good read, so I suggest you guys go over to the Fader magazine to read the full interview yourself. But like I say, man, we're talking about the whole ghostwriting incident here, and this is what's most relevant in hip-hop culture today. You know what I mean? This is a big thing that's still being talked about, and basically one of the things he touched on is he said driving is an integral part of his creative writing process. You know, whether it's him driving to the studio, driving to a girl's house, or just getting out on the road, just being able to come up with those creative ideas while driving is something he's missing because of how popular he is. You know, he's usually chauffeured now, or he's driven to anywhere, and you know, he has a lot of entourage with him, so he misses those times where he could just get in the car and come up with creative material. He also says that, you know, he would kill just to have the gift to come up with 4 rhyming words at the drop of a dime. Like, sometimes it's just those 4 words that prevents you from either starting a song or finishing a song that's pivotal, and that he wishes he had that gift and that he would give anything to be able to do that. And as far as Quentin Miller is concerned, he basically said, well, he didn't really talk too much about Quentin, but he basically says that, you know, sometimes he needs somebody to bring up an idea that will spark his imagination, and then he can run with it. And he really has no problem with doing that. And that, you know, he doesn't mind, you know, having a collaborative form of hip hop like that. And that he doesn't mind people kind of calling him out for using a ghostwriter, and that he would love to be the vessel for which this discussion is furthered. You know, the idea of, is it okay to have a collaborative effort when it comes to writing in hip hop music? You know what I'm saying? And he also says that the reference tracks are just what they are. He really didn't give any context to them. He said it's basically up for your interpretation what they were, and that he felt like he didn't have to explain the context of those tracks. And I guess he's kind of like being diplomatic about that whole situation. He really hasn't answered those topics yet. And then when it comes to Meek Mill, he's also kind of jaded a little bit as well. I mean, he basically is saying that, you know, he didn't understand how the issue was about music, and Meek Mill or his camp didn't have music ready to battle him back with, you know, and that when he heard about the whole situation, he immediately went in the studio and did Charged Up, and subsequently ended it by doing Back to Back. And I think that this is where Drake is jaded at, because Meek Mill made a statement. You made it a rap beef. You know what I mean? You made it a diss record. And so you got to understand, this was a conversation, but you made it about music. You made it about putting out diss records, and that's something that Meek Mill never really had plans on doing. You know what I mean? And so, I don't know, man. I think that this was a really great read. I mean, he touches on a lot of different situations, but the one thing that I get from Drake is that, you know, he's a different kind of artist, and that he doesn't mind that whole collaborative process. That's something that really happens in a lot of different genres of music, but it's not really that prevalent that we know of in hip-hop culture. Usually it's the writer, and he's responsible for, you know, delivering the music. It's not every day that you get someone who doesn't write their own music claiming that they're the best rapper alive. You know what I mean? But I mean, we have seen this before in our culture, whether you're talking about Dr. Dre, whether you're talking about Diddy, even Kanye West has a lot of people helping him. And this is the one thing I did say, is that I knew that when Drake kind of came out with this whole Quentin Miller situation and kind of spoke on it, is that he was going to say that Quentin Miller was there to help him with the creative writing process in some way, but not necessarily as a ghostwriter. But I want to know what you guys think about this topic, man. What do you think about Drake's answer? Go over to the Fader, check his whole interview out. I'm telling you, it's a great read. and I want to know your input. So make sure you guys hit me down in the comment box. Make sure to share this across your social networks. Also subscribe to the channel for more content just like this, and make sure you guys connect with me on social media at JustMike77. That's on Twitter and Instagram. But that's it for this one. I'll see you guys on the next vlog. Until then, it's your partner Just Mike. Stay up. Much love.
Yo, listen, I know the talks about last year, you know, how we couldn't fly to England, unfortunately, for wireless. But man don't care about all that right now, bro, because you know what? Are we there? Awkward.